Today on Ultra Simple Golf, we're very fortunate to be joined by one of South Africa's most successful football coaches of all time, and current Bafana Bafana coach, Gordon Igesund. Gordon, welcome to the show.
Thanks so much.
Thanks very much for joining us.
No, it's a great pleasure.
What has attracted you to perhaps get into golf and start playing a little bit more?
Well, you know, for me, golf is probably the most difficult game in the world. If you come down, you hit a few shots and you think you're a golfer, you know. But I just like the challenge, and also, you know, you don't get much time, you know. So when you come down on the weekend, nothing much to do, and you can just come and chill out, really, take your mind off things, and it's a challenge because, you know, it's so nice when you hit the ball and it goes sweetly.
Correct.
And it's so difficult to do it on a continuous basis, you know. And then some weekend you get the few guys around, so let's go and have a game of golf. I've got a little boy, he's pretty talented, and I like to play with him a bit. So it's something that I just enjoy.
And I've seen your little boy Gareth hit, and he is a talented player, so it's going to be quite a challenge. Are we going to see him in a green jacket or maybe playing at the top level on the football field?
Let's hope so. You know, he loves the game. He spends hours and hours and hours. You know, I take him down the driving range, and he just loves it.
Yeah. But today, as we look at certain fundamentals of the game, we want to try and keep it as simple as possible and try and give you an understanding of how to get from the tee to the green and knock some putts in, and then and just not to make it too complicated, because I think that's the most important thing in sport at whatever level, is to take what you've got on the practice tee to the competitive environment out on the golf course. And I think it must apply in your game as well.
Yeah, it does. I think the most important thing is to enjoy it. You know, you're going out there, you know, at the end of the day, it's only a game. Yeah. You know, and at some games you're better than others. And if you want to, you know, for example, golf, you know, it's, as I said earlier, it's a tough game, you know, but you want to enjoy it, and you got to just go out there. I don't want to be a champion. I don't want to, you know, I just want to play and hit the ball wherever it goes, if it goes there or there. You know, as you'll see as we go along. But it's the same principle for the players. You know, the most important thing for them, as I often stress this, is that they've got to realise it's only a game at the end of the day. And go out there and enjoy yourself. And when you're playing freely and you're enjoying yourself and not having so much pressure, you always perform a bit better, you know. So that's my principle, and I like to have the players doing that, also in football.
Well, no doubt. And we're out here at the 8th hole at the new Huddle Park, and it's one of the good news stories in golf in South Africa. You know, it's so fantastic to see people investing their hard-earned money and time into resurrecting one of the great golf courses that, you know, from the 70s and 80s. So, you know, it's wonderful to see, and we've got a very good par 4 here at the 8th, and it's a challenging dogleg right. So what we're going to do is we're going to get you to hit a tee shot, and we'll get down there, and then my dad's going to take a little bit of what he sees off this first swing, do a bit of an analysis and base the lesson on that, and then we'll complete the hole. But, you know, just want to...
I hope we can complete the hole.
No, you don't worry. But I must stress, I know that you've had surgery, or you're struggling with the Achilles, aren't you?
I had an operation about 8 weeks ago, you know. I've just come out of the shoe now, so it's a little... But that's I don't play any better with or without it, so...
Well, we need to be wary of it, because it's important for weight transfer. But let's give it a go and give it a hit.
No problem.
Thanks, Gordon. All right, Gordon, we've got a pretty good dogleg right, as I said earlier, and it's about 360 meters. And, you know, I'm not too sure what your natural shape is at the moment. So as we see it here, we've got you teed up towards the right-hand side of the tee, and I want you to be aiming at those cooling towers way in the distance up there, because that, if you hit a really good one, it's probably going to take the natural slope of the fairway down into the middle. If you pull it a bit, it's going to still give you a good view of the green, but we want to do our best to try and keep the ball away from the right-hand side. So in your mind, that's what you want to try and picture, and then clear your head of all the other nonsense and give it a rip. All right, take your time, give it a go.
Good.
Gordon, you've hit a very good tee shot. It's about 180 meters. Fantastic. Left half of the fairway, downhill all the way to the green. But two things I've noticed, that with total respect, you're a typical weekend golfer.
Right.
You don't use your legs. What is happening is perfectly natural, again, and that's what makes the game so tough. It is not logical.
Okay.
Your brain is telling you, well, you know that the club hits the ball. Your last tangible contact with that club are your hands. So instinctively, as I set up at the ball, my brain is telling me the harder I hit with my arms and shoulders, as you said off camera, the further the ball's going to go. But that does not exactly what happens.
Okay.
What happens is there is a definite sequence in a golf swing. If I was going to slap your face, I would address your ear, and I would start with my arm, then my shoulders, then my hips to here. Once I've turned, the downswing, everyone thinks I hit you with my hand, but it's not what happens. my legs now start moving to the left, everything follows.
Okay.
So if I want to hit you harder, that's perfect.
Yeah.
If I want to hit you harder, I move my legs faster.
Okay.
But your brain says hit the ball further, hit harder with the hands. Now I just want to give you one quick drill. Just address an imaginary ball, a big beach ball with your left arm.
Okay.
Now imagine smashing that ball down to the green. You now turn with the backhander of your left arm. You turn through 90 degrees to there. Now when I say go, show me your belly button as fast as you can go. Go. Now it's a miracle. You're going to see it on camera. When you hit your drive, both your feet were completely static and planted in the ground. So you were doing this.
Yes.
That's why you couldn't get the ball up in the air. This is the toughest thing to teach beginners, to get onto your left side. Now your son, we saw hit shots off camera, unbelievable. But it's a natural thing. He's mimicking good players. Now that will be with your son for the rest of his life. You've started very late in life. You're going what is logic. Golf is a very illogical game. Now the drill I'm going to give you, Gordon, is to turn the club round and simulate the swing just with your left arm. Just to the viewer here, I just want to make one point, that don't grip the club normally and try and swing it to and fro, because the weight of the club will give you tennis elbow in a week, believe me. So turn the club around, grip the shaft, not the head.
Okay.
No, the shaft.
Shaft,
That's
yeah.
good. Now just look at an imaginary ball here. Put your right arm behind your back. Now just imagine there's no wrist cock. The number 7 now going from here to the tip of the club.
Okay.
Just turn through 90 degrees there. Now go. Now don't try and hit with the left arm. Just show me your belly button. Turn and stop. Go. Now you're falling forward instead of falling back. Now when you actually hit the ball, this is what is so tough, is now grip the club normally, not at the ball yet, 2 hands. Now just try and imagine you've only got one arm, which is your left. Again, run a mile when people start telling you to release your right hand. That happens through gravity and centrifugal force. If you consciously hit with your right hand, you're in desperate trouble, believe me.
Right.
So what I want now, no wrist cock to speak of, just turn that number 7 with your shoulders. And when I say go, show me your belly button. Go. Look at this. Now, who told you to release your hands?
No, no one.
Happened automatically.
Yeah.
That's the point. Now, once you start understanding that your legs are actually initiating the downswing, everything falls into place. You now start hitting down. By hitting down, the ball goes up. Your weight is on the left side going forward, and your power source obviously is in your legs. That's it. Does that make sense?
Makes 100% sense, yeah.
Let's have a go.
Ja, but I feel that's my best shot.
How's that, Dad? Unbelievable. Does that make sense?
Makes 100% sense.
Now, what
yeah.
you're going to see, really, what you're going to see is that you're now getting onto your left side.
Okay.
Now, that is basically a miracle.
I can actually feel the difference, because you're right.
Now-
I used to just use my hands.
Correct.
Yeah, but I can
Correct.
actually feel.
But
more
with your
power in
crook
it,
knee,
yeah.
have you got a crook leg?
I've just had an Achilles
It's
operation.
incredible.
Yeah.
Incredible. That is absolutely amazing.
No, for me too.
But Gordon, it's not a fluke. That's what you misunderstand.
Yeah.
If you get onto your left side, that will happen all day. Fantastic.
Jay, we're approaching US Open time, and I think we're in for a real thriller this year out at Pinehurst. And the previous winner, Michael Campbell, winning in 2005. It was a great tournament. But as usual, there's a real premium on hitting the fairways. It's
Right, sure.
obviously everybody wants to hit a long one down the middle, but keeping it in play, because of the emphasis on getting the ball close to those
Second
flags
shots, yeah.
because of the nature of the greens that we've got there. So you've come along today with a lot of driver technology. Tell us a bit
I've
about
got some of
what
the
you
nicest drivers on the market at the moment, Don. And I want to start off with the TaylorMade SLDR, which has got a 5-star rating from Golf Digest. It's one of the few drivers that ever got a 5-star rating in terms of feel, look, distance, accuracy, etc., etc. And it's been quite a revolution in the way they've designed the slider technology that you can move the weight to toe and heel, just to improve on your bad shot. If you're a cutter of the ball, you can straighten it out. And if you're a hooker of the ball, you can obviously fix that too. The driver that's going to excite me, that's coming very shortly, is the SLDR Mini.
Okay.
So they've designed a driver that's got a 260cc head and comes with 12.5 degrees of loft, and it's also adjustable, so you can make it more loft, less loft.
Right.
And we've noticed it over the years with a guy like Phil Mickelson. He had that Franklin wood of his, which was a 13-degree strong 3-wood. And he was hitting it absolutely miles. And I mean, that helped him win a couple of his Masters tournaments. So we're looking forward to that SLDR Mini. It's coming. It's going to be slightly shorter. It's a bit more manageable. I think the average player has difficulty controlling the big head sometimes and the lack of loft and the extra long shaft. So I think that SLDR Mini will be a real revolution. Initially, I thought it was going to be quite a weak idea, but the more I think of it, I think it's actually a great idea because too many players play with too little loft.
I look forward to hearing that.
Okay, and then, the Ping G25, I mean, Bubba obviously won with the G25 at the Masters, and he was hitting it absolutely miles, especially that tee shot on 13. He hit 364 yards or whatever it was, left him a sandwich in there, which was an absolute mockery of the 13th hole. But the G25 won Driver of the Year at the Golf Digest hot list, and a combination of great accuracy and great distance. So for a guy, you can't really go wrong with the G25. I think it's a magnificent company. They make great product, and year in, year out, they're making nice stuff. And then finally, the Cleveland Custom 588. This is a new driver. The first 2 drivers they made, the Classic XL, which was 18 months ago, and then they brought out the Custom. I think essentially they might have been flops for them. We didn't sell through them very nicely. Beautiful looking club when you put it down. But as a good player, I like a deep face, and you might like a deep face. But the problem with a deep face, it hits the ball very, very low. So what they've done with the Custom 588 is they've shallowed out the face quite a bit, which is good news. That means you can get more club under the ball, so the average player is going to get the ball up in the air, okay? It comes with the Matrix Ozic 6Q3 shaft, which is one of the most popular shafts on the PGA Tour at the moment, okay? Has the ability to turn 2.25 degrees open, 2.25 degrees closed, and so you're able to control your ball flight that way, okay? It comes in a 9 degree and a 10.5, and obviously a 12 degree for seniors, and the way it comes off the face really is impressive. And when you put it down, that black head with a bit of gold detail, beautiful, beautiful club. The other thing, besides drivers, I think it's going to be a big thing in the guys' bags when they're playing the US Open, because as you know, some of the par 4s, even though the Pinehurst is not a long golf course, there's going to be some deadly par 4s there. Ones where the guys have to hit in the fairway at optimum length, and then they're going to have to take their hybrid and really give it a smack and bring it in soft, because you know how hard those US Open greens can get. So a lot of the guys will be using around about a 20 or a 21 degree. But for the better players out there, Callaway X2 Hot have brought out what they call the Pro version. When you put this club down, it's got a slightly smaller head, slightly less of a spin rate, so you can pierce it through the wind when you're using it for driving purposes, but also enough loft and the ability to bring you down soft on the green. So I think it's going to be a massive thing besides putting, because we know US Opens, putting's a big thing, the greens get so quick. Driving the ball in the fairway and keeping it in the fairway with it on the short par 4s with the hybrid, or the long second shots to par 4s, the hybrid is going to do its job again.
Well, when I look at the clubs there, you've probably got Justin Rose as defending champion on the TaylorMade side. Bubba Watson is always going to be a threat on a course like Pinehurst because he works the ball beautifully. And finally, a guy like Graham McDowell on the Cleveland side. I mean,
the Cleveland Strixon. I mean, Graham McDowell, I mean, he's due. That's the kind of golf course you can win at. So we'll have to see.
Thanks, Joe.
Thanks, Don.
Bruce, let me tell you first, before I talk about my problems on the short game. That 6-iron I hit there, I've never hit a 6-iron like that. I mean, no, really, I've only spent 10 minutes with me off the air, showing me exactly how, and it felt so natural. I mean, I've never got that kind of distance on 6-iron. Normally, I miss my 6-iron. I like to play the 8-irons or 9-irons and, hitting the ball.
It went 190 yards, you know that.
No, it felt great. I so...
Well, as I say, you'll see on camera that instead of off your back foot, you're getting onto the front foot.
Yeah.
Now, the key here, what's your problem here now?
Well, very similar situation to what I had before. I'm not sure if, when you play the short game, whether you should be just, like, hitting the ball or actually swinging, following through.
Right.
Because I know the club will do the club's supposed to do the work.
Well, it does, but you've got to understand it. Again, what you said to your son off camera son, get under the ball.
Yes.
That's the biggest mistake you can make.
Okay.
Now, to the viewer, that is the biggest myth in golf. What takes place is that the ball descends.
Okay.
It does not ascend. So when people tell you you've got to get under the ball and lift it, rubbish.
Okay.
You've got to actually hit down. So in this scenario here, just play a shot quickly, just hit it anywhere on the green.
Okay.
Right. Now you'll see that on camera, 90% of your weight was on the back foot because you're trying to get under and lift it.
Yeah.
Now that is not what happens in golf. You've now got to go like a full golf swing. The game never contradicts itself. In a full swing, where must your weight be at impact?
On the left
On
foot.
your left foot. So in chipping, we actually cheat. I stand to the ball with all my weight on the left foot, the ball middle of the stance or slightly back. In this scenario here, I've got a 52 Vokey wedge, weight on my left foot, hands slightly forward.
Okay.
Now just think of physics now.
Okay.
The bottom of my arc now is in front of the ball. Look where my hands are and my left shoulder. So mechanically, if I just take the club back with my shoulders and work my shoulders through the ball, the club now will travel down, hit the ball into the ground, which makes the ball go up, and the divot will take place after the ball.
Okay.
So all that is happening, there's no wrists, it's all shoulders, but the manufactured side is putting all your weight on the left foot and getting your left hand slightly in front of the ball. Now set up here. Now stand a lot closer to the ball. Grip down the shaft. Now put your feet together. Closer together. Now put all your weight on the left foot. Brilliant. Now this is a little drill I use. Stay there. Now hit my foot with the back of your left hand, but make sure that you're sitting on your left leg.
Okay.
Now just stay on your left foot. Go. Brilliant. Now you're hitting down, that makes the ball go up.
Okay.
But by putting your weight on the left foot, you now can't transfer weight, you've cut out all that error. So set yourself up. Now put all your weight on the left foot, left hand stand a lot closer to the ball and feet together. It's very similar to a putt. Now hit that, get that club hitting the ball into the ground and see what happens. Just hit down with your left hand, down. Look what happens. The ball goes up, that's your first shot.
Yeah.
But look where the divot is.
After
the
the
divot
ball,
is after the ball. That's
Okay.
it. Now the minute you stand here and try and scoop it with your right hand, you're going to hit behind the ball and duff it. And everyone says, oh, I'm lifting my head. You're not. Do another one.
You know, it's crazy actually, because I used to, in actual fact, try and stand behind the ball to get this club lower.
It's the exact
Opposite, yeah.
That is what makes the game so tough. And again to the viewer, if you think you can figure it out yourself, as you've proved today, forget it.
Yes.
Go to a recognized PGA pro, and I guarantee you that with correct instruction, every golfer on the planet will improve just through basic knowledge.
Yes.
Does it make sense?
Very much. I can feel it, yeah.
Exactly. Brilliant. Gordon, that was actually spectacular.
No, thanks so much. I mean, in a short period of time, I've learned so much. I mean, like you say, most of the things we do, we think we know, and just to get these tips was fantastic.
It's a very illogical game, believe me.
Okay, that's
But that
great.
6-iron was, I can't believe it.
I want to get out on the course now.
On this week's Echelon Did You See That Moment, we take a look back at the recent 2014 Players' Championship, and Martin Keimer came to the 17th hole needing this 35-foot putt downhill left to right to secure a one-shot lead going into the treacherous 18th hole. The former world number one calmly stroked the ball into the hole, doing what winners do. He went on to win the championship. Well, Gordon, I can't congratulate you enough on that performance. I mean, that was really phenomenal there. But to get back to your career now, you know, you're the only coach, I think in South African history that's won the PSL with 4 different teams. Now, that tells me that your coaching techniques and fundamentals are very, very good. And obviously your ability to work with people and players has got to be exemplary. Is that a fair assessment?
I think so. You know, the 4 championships that I've won were totally different. You know, I've coached 2 huge teams, in the Orlando Pirates and Mamelodi Sundowns. Then I coached 2 teams, for example, like Manning Rangers, who had just been promoted from the Federation League, and Santos, you know. So there were different types of players involved, and my first championship was with Manning Rangers. They just got promoted from the Federation, and the whole league changed, and you know, I can remember quite clearly our very, very first game we played, we lost 9-0 to Kaizer Chiefs. And we went on from there to win the championship. So it was...
That's incredible.
Yeah, it was fantastic.
When you look at building a team, what are the ingredients that you need, that you believe you need to make a great football team?
I think there's many, many factors, you know. There's so many of them. I mean, one of the first principles is to make it a team. The players have got to realise there's no superstars in the side, you know, because sometimes you get 1 or 2 players who think they Jack the Lad, they think they're automatic choices, they start losing the respect of the other players. And I tell the players, you know, you need to earn the respect of your players. You can't demand it no matter where you are. And there's no stars in our team. This is a team. We need 11 players, because if you 2 stars think you can play, go play by yourself and see how it works out, you know. And I think that's one of the first things you've got to do, and let them believe, get the feeling of refusing to lose. You know, no matter how, go out there, play with pride, play with passion, play with commitment, but more importantly, enjoy what you're doing. You know, and the game over the years has changed because so much money's come into the game now. It's hugely different from the days, for example, 1996 when I won my first championship. I mean, those players played for the love of the game. They wouldn't be concerned how much they were earning. I think at that time the players may have been earning 800 Rand a month. They had jobs still. They used to come to training in the evening. Today the players are earning 200,000 Rand a month, you know, and they got what they want. They spoiled. They got their motor cars. And the ones that keep on going, the ones who are earning that kind of money are the ones who are the more professional, the ones who know their career can come to an end at any time. You know, it's only a short career, possibly 10 years maximum. And after that, you know, you've got to have some kind of education behind you. There's been so many sad stories about players that have been fantastic, earning good money, and today they're all looking for jobs. They're looking to do something. They got families. They got no jobs. It's so sad, and I think that's where it's very, very important for development to the younger generation to understand how to manage their fame and how to manage their money.
It's got to be a very tough task as a coach with all the expectations that are placed on you, you know, especially in a country like South Africa where we expect to be, you know, competitive in the world stage. But to also take these players and to kind of stand your ground. When you see players with, you know, exceptional talent and maybe not the right work ethic, you know, to set the ground rules and stand your ground. I mean, I've talked to quite a number of the best golf coaches in the world, and, you know, with these players that are earning hundreds of millions of rands or dollars, you know, through their career, you know, it's tough to deal with those egos. You know, is that something that you've sort of wrestled with over your career?
Yeah, I have, definitely, without any doubt. You know, sometimes you get a player that's really a very, very good player, you know, but he doesn't want to train, he comes late for training, he thinks everything's okay. I think the most important thing for me over my life is I've always treated all the players equally. There's no superstars, even though in the back of my mind I know this guy's special, you know, but he's got to not be special, he's got to just do what the rest of the players do, you know. And one thing I won't take is any nonsense. I've left players out of the national team. I've left players out of clubs who are the superstars. But they've got to understand they're there and they're earning the money and it's their job. It's the same as working in the bank. You know, if you work in the bank, you've got to be there at 8 o'clock in the morning. You can't come 9:15 because you're the best teller or you're the best manager. You've got to come and lead by example. And I try and get the players to understand that the players around you know that you're a good player. And I want to see what made you a good player. What made you a good player is your discipline, your organisation, the way you come to training, the way you stick it in, the way you train. And that's how the players are going to respect you. They're not going to respect you if you come in and jack the lad and think you're better than the rest.
Definitely. Well, as we look forward now with Bafana Bafana, you've got Australia, I think, late May. How are things stacking up now for that next challenge?
Yeah, things have gone quite well, actually, you know, because normally I have so many injuries and situations with players, and being a non-FIFA date, sometimes the clubs have got responsibilities to play in Africa and play in certain tournaments, but this is coming at the end, and I've announced my squad a couple of weeks ago, and nobody has pulled out, and everybody's looking fit and strong. These are weekend games coming up now, so it's the last, let's hope no one gets injured, but so far so good.
Well, you've done a lot of very, very good work, and I think the results are only a little while away. I mean, you've just got to keep being patient, I guess, and I think Bafana Bafana are very fortunate to have you at the helm, but it's certainly been tremendous to spend some time with you out here today, and hopefully we've had a little bit of a positive impact on your game, and we look forward to spending a bit of time with your little boy Gareth.
No, thanks so much, and I've got to tell you, I'm going now take Gareth and I'm going to go play and try all these shots out because I want to make sure that 6 iron wasn't a fluke.
As long as you understand how you did it, you're on your way.
Exactly, yeah.
Gordon, thank you so much.
It's a great pleasure.
Fantastic
Thank you so
meeting
much. Thank you.